Hey there, Chuck. I was just wondering if you knew where the materials that we were going to use for the meeting were? I see some of it in the documents here, but this isn't everything. Do you happen to have the rest of them? What the heck do you think you're doing messaging me at this time, huh? You think I climbed this high in the corporate ladder so that I could have some nobody bothering me after work hours? What materials are you even talking about? I am talking about the things that we need for the meeting that we're going to be having tomorrow. I thought that our department head assigned you to get those ready for tomorrow, didn't she? Oh, those documents. I think the ones that you're talking about, I know. I just figured that since the meeting isn't going to be until the afternoon, that I could wait until tomorrow morning to get the rest of them done. No, hold on a second. You were going to wait until tomorrow to get all those documents done? Don't you remember that we got the memo from the headquarters saying that they wanted to move the meeting from tomorrow afternoon to 10 in the morning? Wait, what? When was this? I don't remember any memo going out about changing the meeting time. But Chuck, you were the one that forwarded us all of that when it came through. Don't you remember doing that? Are you kidding me? Did I really do that? I don't remember anything of the sort. But you even told us that in the same email that you were gonna make the materials ahead of schedule when you were gonna get them done, so that we can review them before the meeting. Did I really say that? I don't have the slightest memory about any of that. Well, there was even the bit in the memo where we could respond and that we had all seen it and marked them as read as well. But is this really true? I don't remember doing any of this at all. Chuck, you seriously need to go back to the office and finish up all these documents right away. Actually, I don't think I'm gonna do that. You're my subordinate. You should do it all. Hold on a minute, you're really gonna give me all the work just because you were leaving to do them at the last minute? That's right, I'm your boss and I have a right to distribute work as I see fit. So now it's your problem and not mine. Look, Chuck, I'm really sorry, but I've got to make materials for another meeting, so I have my hands full with that. If you're really making materials for one, then surely you should be able to handle making enough for two. It's hardly even more work for you at that point. Well, I just think that it's gonna take me a lot of time to get everything done in time. You really are a lazy guy, you know that. When I first heard that we were hiring someone with only a high school diploma, I was wondering what the higher-ups would be thinking. But now I see that my first impression of you was right. You have no idea what you're talking about at all, so let me make this very clear to you. You will do what I say when I say it. You know that you can't just treat the employees like this, right? I mean, you're not being fair at all. No, I am being more than fair right now. In fact, I'm giving you special training so that you'll become an even better employee. That is why you're gonna do the work that I give to you, and you're gonna be thankful for the opportunity to prove yourself to me. Anyways, I'm just getting home right now, so make sure you have everything done by tomorrow, got it? Chuck, wait, you can't do this! Hey, George, are you there? I just heard the big news. Is it true that you really got married? I had no idea that you were even dating anyone. Hello, Chuck. Are you wanting to know more about my marriage? Well, I just heard about it from the first time from someone in the office when we were in the break room together. I really didn't know that you were about to get married. Well, I was, and am now, I guess. Is there anything else that you'd like to know? Is it true that when you got married, you also bought a house at the same time? Actually, we haven't bought anything yet, but we are already talking about buying a home for the two of us, yes. Now that my wife and I are married, we have a lot of big decisions to make about our future. I don't believe it. You mean to tell me that some loser who can only have a high school diploma can afford to get married and is thinking about buying a house? You really have got some nerve, you know that? I mean, just who do you think you are? You think you're better than me or something? Here we go again. I just mean that if you're married, then your wife must be a bit of a weirdo, too. If this lady thinks it's a good idea to marry someone in your position, then you're either lying to her, or there's something wrong with her, too. Maybe you're just with her because she's all messed up and does crazy stuff in the bedroom. Is that why you two are married? Chuck, I don't care at all what you have to say to me. You can insult me and put me down all you want. But I draw the line at you saying anything that vulgar about my wife, do you understand me? Excuse me? Just who do you think you're talking to like that? You seriously have got some nerve. I just want to make something clear with you, Chuck. The reason that I wasn't able to go to college after I finished high school was because my dad died. My family didn't have the money to send me to college after that. I had to work to help take care of the rest of my family. So I really appreciate it if you would stop talking to me as if you know my life or what I've gone through before I got here, okay? Because not only is it rude, but it's also against the rules of how you can treat people in the office. As a department supervisor, you need to choose your words more carefully, and think about what the boss should and shouldn't be saying in the office. Just who in the world do you think you are, telling me how I can and can't talk in the office, huh? Do you think you're the boss around here? Who died and made you the compliance officer for the whole office? Well, I don't think that anyone died, but you are right that I have been selected as this year's compliance officer. Wait, are you serious? You're really the CEO for the office this year? That's right. Anyways, I got a meeting with our department heads to attend to and some clients, so I gotta leave now. Hold on just 1 second. Are you telling me that you're working directly with the department heads? But you can't just skip over me and work with her. What the heck is going on here? How is someone who doesn't even have a college degree like you doing this, huh? I want to be there too. You tell me where you all are right now. If you want to go look at the office schedule board, all this should already be written there in a very clear way to understand, manager. I'll be going straight home after this, however, so I really do have to get going right now. Hey, we're not through here! Don't you run away from me, I still have things I gotta ask you!
Hey there, George. I just wanted to let you know that I think you did a really great job today. It seems to me like you've been making some real great improvements ever since you started working there.
Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me that you're saying that. And I certainly didn't expect to be treated to Lucy's cooking after we finished work.
Well, she was really hoping to get to do that with you, actually. I told her that we were going to be working together, and then you were going home after our meeting. But when I told her, she told me to invite you over for dinner instead. She was so excited that she told me that she was going to go out right away and buy something to cook for us to dinner.
Well, thank you so much for your kindness. It really does mean so much to me.
Well, I'm not the one that you should be saying thanks to, you know?
You're right. Please tell Lucy how grateful I am for her thinking about me like that. Tell her the dinner was delicious.
Of course, I'll be sure to do that. And I'm sorry to be asking you to work a little tomorrow even though it's Saturday.
You mean about seeing you off at the train station? I can do that, no problem. You wanted me to pick you up and take you over at about 8 in the morning, right?
Yeah, that would be perfect. Thank you so much for that.
Hey, George, do you really live in a place like this? I really can't believe it. I was really surprised when you told me the company made you the compliance officer. I thought it meant that you were in there with some of the bigwigs here. And you have a place like this, too? I have to say that I'm actually just a bit impressed by this. I mean, I never would have guessed you to have a place like this, but it doesn't change the fact that you still don't even have a degree from a university. You're still a no one. You really must think that just because you have this job that you can try and get a leg up on everyone, huh? Well, just know that I'll never let you forget who you really are. Hey there, George, I just wanted to let you know that I'm having a really great barbecue. I was gonna invite you to it as well, but I heard that you were going to be out of town doing something. Hello there, Chuck. Sorry, I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, actually. What is this about? Oh, I didn't tell ya. I was gonna be having a little barbecue party, and I was thinking of inviting you, but I guess you weren't here to be able to enjoy it. Well, yeah, I did have something to do this morning, but it's not like I'm out of town or anything like that. I'm actually already home right now. Oh man, this meat is good, and you're not gonna get to eat any of it. Okay. You enjoy that, I guess, Chuck. Hey George, you still there? I got something to tell you about right now, so answer me as soon as you get this message, okay? Hello again, Chuck? Yeah, I normally don't hear anything from you this often when it's the weekend, so what is it this time? Oh, I just wanted to let you know that I was having a barbecue at your house and there was a fire. Wait, what? A fire? You had a fire at your barbecue party? Is everyone okay? Well, I'm actually going home, but I was having the barbecue party at your house, so anyways, good luck putting that fire out. I'm gonna come back once the fire is put out to get all my supplies that I brought over, but you might want to deal with the fire going on in your lawn, bro. Hold on just 1 second, Chuck. Wait, you're telling me that you don't actually live in a house, like you live in an apartment? Yeah, I have an apartment room on the 3rd floor of my building, actually. So I'm not really sure what you mean when you say that you were having a barbecue at my house, much less my lawn. Hold on a second, what do you mean? Are you serious about all this? I am. Did you even bother calling the fire department about any of this? No, I was gonna leave it all to you, actually. Well, you better call them right now, because wherever you are, that isn't my house. No, Cecile, well, what an honor it is getting a message straight from you. It isn't every day that I hear from you. Please tell me what I can do for you. To what do I owe the honor?
I was just wanting to talk to you about this business with you, trying to start a fire at the house of one of our employees?
Oh, right, of course. Well, the one thing I was trying to do was pull a prank on George, and I think it went kind of a little wrong. He told me that I could have a barbecue at his house if I wanted to, but then he gave me the wrong address, so anyway, I ended up going to the wrong house, and I guess you know the rest from there.
Right, well, that so-called wrong house was actually my house.
Wait, I'm sorry, what? That was your house?
That's right, it was my house, and I wouldn't have minded as much if there was just a little bit of damage. But the thing is that the fire spread to my prize-winning rose garden and completely destroyed it.
So, it really was your house then? You really mean that?
That's right. It was my house. And I just want you to know that I'm going over the damage that you've caused. Not only to the roses, but to my garden in general, as well as a tree that was designated as historic by the city. So just know that I'm going to be charging you for all of that.
You're really gonna make me pay for all that? Are you serious? How could you do this to me? You never told me the house that you were sending me to was Cecile's. I didn't send you anything, although I did hear from one of Cecile's neighbors that they weren't able to put out the fire in time, that they did remember talking to you. They told me that you told them that you had permission from Cecile to do what you were doing. You're honestly lucky that your fire didn't end up burning the whole house down, you know that? I mean, did you really do all that just because you thought that it was my house? But, I mean, you told me that, you just got married and had gotten a new house, so I thought that I would go and check out what the new house was that you were living in. And that's why I was saying that I was really surprised about your house. I had no idea how a little nobody like you could afford such an amazing place with a perfect yard like that! I see. So basically you're saying that you thought that Cecile's house was actually mine? But, I mean, I saw you go up to this house after you finished up with work the other day. So how is it that you don't live there? Are you talking about a couple of days ago, when I went home from work that day? That's right! I just happened to see your car while I was out, and so I got into mine, and I thought that I would follow you home so I could make fun of where you lived. And then when you arrived, there was some pretty lady that came outside to greet you, so I was sure that you must have been, where you were living with your wife. Well, I don't know what else to say, but that's not my house, and that is not where I live with my wife. But how can that be? What did I even see then? You do remember that I told you that I was talking with my wife about where we were gonna live, right? I told you that we were still talking about where our house was gonna be. Did you really say that to me? I don't remember that at all. Are you sure that's what you told me about where you and your wife would be living? That's right. I'm sure that I told you that my wife and I hadn't decided on where we were gonna live yet. I'm sure that if you scroll up throughout our other conversations that you will say that I told you just that much as well. But then, I don't understand. Why were you going to Cecile's house then? Well, that would be because after I finished work the other day, I was invited there by Cecile, if you must know. And the other person who came out to greet me was actually Cecile's daughter, my wife. You're kidding me! That's right, so basically you thought that my mother-in-law's house was my house because my wife is still living there while we settled on a good place to move to. But then, what does that mean for me? What's gonna happen now? That sounds like something that's gonna be settled between you and Cecile. In the end, Chuck was fired. Not only was his out-of-work conduct considered unacceptable, but HR acted on the many reports of his non-compliance with office rules that I made. I imagine that he was probably charged with some kind of mix of breaking and entering and arson, but I never really asked Cecile what she did after Chuck was fired. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Hey, Rose. You're going to be leaving for a business trip today, right?
Huh? What is it, Trisha?
You told me about it at the memorial service, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm already at my destination. What about it?
We only got each other's contact information at the memorial service, right? Even if we are cousins, I thought it would be rude to contact you when you're busy, so I thought I should ask you about it.
Oh, is that so? Well, just text me whenever there's something you need to tell me. I already told you this at the memorial service, but just know that there are going to be times when my replies are going to be really slow.
Got it.
Good morning, Mrs. Yates. Is now a good time?
Oh, Mr. Hunt? It's unusual of you to contact me like this by text.
Yep, even though we did exchange contact information when I moved here.
I mean, it's faster to just talk to each other in person when you live in the room next door. So, what's the matter?
Well, this is going to sound rude, but I have a question for you. You said that you were going to be gone for a while, right?
Oh, yes. About 2 more weeks.
The lights in your room are on every evening.
What? I'm currently on a business trip, so there shouldn't be anyone in the house.
Yes, it looks like the lights are being turned off during the day, which caught my attention, so I decided to contact you. It's not like you come home from your trip occasionally, right?
Yep. I haven't been home since I left.
Did you ask one of your acquaintances to check in on your house then?
I asked my landowner to do that for me, but I doubt he would visit every evening.
Huh. So what is it then? Maybe a thief.
What?
Oh, never mind. I guess it's strange for a thief to visit every night, but if it's not your landowner, then that means that someone must have a spare key to your room.
That's probably not the case. My parents' house is far away as well, so...
Do you have any relatives living nearby?
I have 2 cousins who live at a place that's a 20-minute drive from my house, but I haven't given them spare keys.
Don't you think that this is quite serious?
It seems so. I'll tell my company about it and come home this evening.
Should I tell your landlord about it?
Yes, it might make things go smoother if you told him what you know about the situation.
Understood. Oh, and please contact me when you arrive. The landowner's a woman past her 70s, so I think that it would be helpful to have the help of a man at times like this.
Thanks, that would be really helpful.
Well, come home safely then.
Yep, thank you for contacting me. Hi, Mr. Hunt. Thanks for contacting me in the afternoon about the situation. I just arrived at my landowner's house.
Hi, Miss Yates. It must have been a long trip.
My landowner already checked in on the house for me, and when she looked through the window, it seems that the light in my room on the second floor really was turned on.
I was able to get home from work a bit early today, so I was observing your room. It seems that the person arrived 1 hour earlier than you. The window was open strangely, so I did a bit of eavesdropping and,
What is it?
well, I think I heard the voices of a man and a woman.
What? A man and a woman?
Well, what they were saying was, they must have been having sex based on what they were saying.
Huh?
Sorry if I'm wrong, and it's just my misunderstanding.
Oh, don't be. Thank you for the information. Me and the landowner are going to be entering the house now. I know it's a hassle, but would you mind coming with us?
Understand. I'll be waiting in front of your room.
It was you, Trisha? Where did you run off to? You're only fast when you run away. Huh? Why are you back so early? That's not the problem. Why are you using my house as a hiding place for cheating? You were always the type of person who did whatever they wanted, but cheating on your husband while he's on assignment on his own is going too far. Hold on. Weren't you supposed to be abroad for 2 weeks on a business trip? Huh? Abroad? That's why I thought we could use your room instead of going to a hotel. My business trip was just to a neighboring prefecture. Huh? That's not the point, though! You used my spare key without my permission, didn't you? Let me guess. Was it at the memorial service 1 month ago? Yes. I heard that you were going to be abroad for 3 weeks on a business trip, and I also noticed that there was a locksmith near the shrine we had the memorial service at. I thought that this was the perfect chance, but why have you come back so early? It's Candace, our other cousin, not me, who's going abroad on a business trip. Huh? Candace? You were sitting right behind us at the memorial service, right, Trisha? That's probably when you overheard us talking about how we were going to go on a business trip at the same time. You probably had it mixed up and thought I was going abroad and Candace was staying in the country. But you work at a foreign firm, right, Rose? Which is why I thought for sure that you were the one going abroad. I see. So you've got even that wrong. I work at a medium-sized company that just has a few offices around the country. Huh? It's Candace who works at a foreign firm. No way! There's no way Candace, who grew up poor and without a proper education, could get into such a place. It looks like you haven't changed and how you're still full of prejudices. Don't you know how hard Candace has worked up until now? She got into university with a scholarship that exempted her from having to pay a tuition since her grades in high school were so good. She even graduated at the top of her class since she's so smart. Wasn't she a high school graduate? Wow, how far do your prejudices go? Fine, who cares?
It's not like you know who my boyfriend is or anything. Speaking of which, wasn't the man you fled my room with back there Candace's fiancé, Mr. Tyson? You know? Candace introduced me to him just recently, so we've met each other before. No way. When I barged into the two of you back there, he made a face looking like he knew he screwed up and said my name. It was Mr. Tyson, without a doubt, right? I'm going to tell Candace about this. Hey, hold on! Of course I'm going to tell your husband about it as well. I said hold on! I got divorced with my husband. Because you had to go on and tell him what happened. This is about the business trip 3 months ago, right? I already know what happened. It seems that Candace canceled her marriage with Mr. Tyson as well. I heard you made Mr. Tyson pay alimony for you. Well, kind of. I mean, I was thinking about stealing him from Candace from the beginning. It all started when I thought to myself that Candace didn't deserve a man like him. So I decided that I would have him for myself, who's a much better match for him. I mean, he's so much more high-spec than my ex-husband, and he's more rich and handsome as well. Huh? By the way, it's been 100 days since I got divorced, so I married Mr. Tyson. My ex-husband was a pretty high-spec himself, and he let me just relax at home as a housewife. But I guess I got an upgrade. And from now on, I'm a celebrity housewife that relaxes at home. I'm so lucky, it's kind of unfair. Mr. Tyson is unemployed currently. Did you know that? Huh? The company he was running with his friend went bankrupt half a month ago. Bankrupt? I heard that to pay off the debt, he had to take a loan out because of the bankruptcy. He's now working part-time while looking for a new job. He's in debt? I heard that that's part of the reason why he and Candace delayed their wedding ceremony, which they've been planning to have the next spring. And yet, given his situation, you still made him pay your alimony for you. He might be in even more debt now than he was in the start. You're joking, right? The reason you were using my room as a secret hiding place was because Mr. Tyson told you that going to hotels was too expensive. So he wanted to meet at your house, where your husband was gone because of his assignment elsewhere, right? Huh? Well, yes, that's why. This is just my speculation, but he was in debt, so he probably didn't want to spend too much money. But there are a few cameras placed in your house to keep watch of your pet, right? And you knew that there was a chance that your husband would check in on the cameras from where he was assigned, meaning that if you brought Mr. Tyson in your house, you would have surely gotten caught. During that time, you happened to hear me talking about how I was going on a business trip and thought of using my room instead. So you made a spare key without telling me, and that's what happened, right? Hold on. I finally realized it now, but could it be the case that I'm screwed because I just married an unemployed man who's in debt? Looks like it. No way! No way! No! I won't accept this! I'm going to divorce him! But is it going to be that easy? Huh? Well, you see, I'm currently with Candace right now, and she's saying that Mr. Tyson is an extremely jealous person, and if you don't put him in the palm of your hand and control him well, then you're going to become mentally unstable. What? She says thanks for taking her hands off of such a bothersome man. What do you mean? Well, that's the situation, so good luck. Don't scare me like that. Rose!
Good evening, Miss Yates. It's been 2 months since you moved to your new room. Have you gotten used to it?
Good evening, Mr. Hunt. My move happened at the same time. It got really busy at work, so I was only able to arrange all my stuff just recently. But I only moved to the apartment across the street. The layout is similar to my old room, and the landowner is still the same. So it doesn't really feel like much has changed.
I see.
That being said, it's so freeing finally to get away from the room that was used as a secret meeting place for adultery.
I'm glad you feel that way. You live in room 202 now, right?
Yes. We're still neighbors like before, so I hope we can get along like before.
It'd be my pleasure.
On the other hand, though,
Yes, what is it?
would you like to go out to dinner soon?
What?
I realized that I had never thanked you for helping me out with the incident a few months ago.
What? Don't worry about it. I already received some expensive sweets from you. That alone is enough, thanks.
It's not that I just want to thank you, but I thought that we could go out somewhere. So, is that a no?
No, I accept. I'm actually really happy.
I'm glad. How's 10 o'clock this Saturday?
Yep, I'm looking forward to it.
Trisha was unable to tell Mr. Tyson that she wanted to divorce him, and she was forced to take on his debt with him as his wife. But it didn't change the fact that she had stolen another woman's fiancé, so she could no longer depend on her parents since they had cut ties with her. Her dream of being a celebrity housewife that just relaxes at home was now not just a dream, but a dream inside a dream. Instead of living the life she thought she was going to live after marrying Mr. Tyson, she now lives in poverty, even though she works from day to night every day. She was immediately thrown into a horrible life. Not only that, but it seems that what Candace said was true, so that now Trisha is on the verge of mental illness. After sending her last message to me and Candace saying that it wasn't supposed to be like this, we no longer heard anything from her, since it seemed like she could no longer pay her phone bills.